Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to see that there are so many of you who are interested in BI. And first of all, my name is Tu, and I work as a project manager here at Lime. And I also work as a Lime BI delivery manager. And in my role, I help customers with nailing down their processes and KPIs, goals, of course, as well, and in general, also getting the most out of their data on a daily basis. So that is why I have the pleasure to host this webinar for you today. And before we totally start, I just want to say that the session will be recorded as well, and it will be sent out to you later. So you can share it with your colleagues as well later, if not everybody could make it. Yeah. And here we have also like a chat function. So if you have any questions or thoughts along the way during the webinar, you are very welcome just to write them in the chat. And I also have my colleague Magnus in the background, who is helping me to keep an eye on the chat and the questions. Then I think we can just slowly get started. So for today, I want to talk about what actually is business intelligence and how can we use it in our everyday. Elsewise, so after we clarified what it is, why should we use BI tools? For that, I also will show you some dashboard examples to make it more tangible for you what we are talking about. And after that, I will also give you a brief introduction to our very own Lime BI tool. Yeah. And in the end, we also have a little bit time for some questions and feedback. And I think, we can just jump into it. So starting with Lime BI. So when you search after BI on the internet, you can find probably something like this. Business intelligence combines business analytics and data mining, data visualization, data tools, and infrastructure, and best practices to help organizations make more data-driven decisions. In practice, you've got modern business intelligence when you have a comprehensive view of your organization's data and use that data to drive change, eliminate inefficiencies, and quickly adapt to market or supply changes. So that means in general that BI is helping you to make sense of your data. And also it will make it easier to see patterns. And when you can do that, then it's easier to analyze what are you doing? What is the data telling me? And in this way, a business intelligence is a great tool to move from reactivity to proactivity. So that you can not only say, okay, like now it went bad, but we can maybe use it to predict some things as well already. So that was like more the longer version, but so what is it actually? We could also just say that business intelligence is a cooler way of presenting and using data. So that is very short and easy. And with the excitement of today about BI, there are of course a lot of different platforms and solutions. And to keep it a little bit impartial, I will show you also a little bit some other providers. Like of course there's Lime BI, but there are also some other providers. And when choosing a BI tool, it's important for you yourself that you have a tool which you can use and you understand how to use it yourself. So it's simplicity, which is quite important, because all the tools, they can more or less do the same thing, present data in a cool way. So if you're looking for a BI tool, it can build dashboards for you and reports. But like any other digital tool, when you start using it, it will be easier and you will find new ways to look at your data. So I definitely recommend you to have a tool where you can adjust the solution yourself and therefore reduce also cost and minimize headaches in the future. So you have more control over it yourself. But so why should you use a BI tool? First of all, it can increase your workflow, because when you have like a dashboard, and then you can see like what we are focusing on, then it's easier for the employees to start doing the right things, because they actually can see, okay, this is what we focus on. So in that sense, making it easier for them to work. Elsewise, of course, yeah, as I mentioned, like it will improve the transparency. It's not guesswork anymore. Okay, how far are we with our end of year goal, and what is actually important that I'm doing? Then you can just see it. But elsewise, you can also get a deeper insight into your data, because I mean, you probably have a lot of data already, but you're maybe not using it all or looking at it. So in that sense, you can take a look at your historical data and analyze it and look at it and compare, for example, last year to this year, or so that then you can see also how far we've gotten with some of our goals. I will also show you an example later on. Another thing is, as also for me actually, it will spark motivation. It's really funny what it does when you can actually see your goals and see how far you are. So of course, like as I mentioned before, like maybe you have a common end of year goal, and then you can see like, okay, we're not quite there yet, but we can probably make it if we all try a little bit more. But elsewise, I also like it as a development tool, like a self-development tool, because I can see like, okay, this month I'm this far, like, okay, the month just started, but yeah, I know like last month it was a really good month, so I can try to keep up my level of activities, for example. So it's not only to compare myself to other coworkers, but also like to myself, like how did I do last year? How did I do last month? So I really like it. Elsewise, of course, it's always available. A modern BI tool is there so that you can always get an easy overview. And of course, as long as you have internet. But then it's also nice, like you can also check it on the phone, for example. Elsewise, of course, yeah, it is faster than making a big Excel report, I would say. And the accuracy, because it is we always use like live data, so so it's much more accurate. And about the data quality, of course, like I wrote now, improved data quality. Like a BI tool is not automatically making your data quality higher, but what it does is like you are more aware of your data, and you know, like, okay, if I see in my dashboard there's something weird going on there, then of course you will go back and check your data, and in that sense be much more aware of your data and be cleaner. So it has the effect of that your data quality will be higher as well. And a way to work with a BI tool is making you much more efficient and reduce time thieves, because then you don't have to go like a lot of different places, but actually you can just use a BI tool. And I also wrote improved customer experience, because a BI tool, when you think of it at first, probably think about sales and sales numbers. But yeah, BI tool can be used for much more than that. It can be also used for example, the help desk or support department, where you can show some numbers relevant to colleagues there. So in that sense, it's also good for the other departments. Yeah. And of course, like with the data quality improving, you can also trust your data, and you know, like, okay, what I can see here, I can trust, and in that way make better business decisions. And because of all of that above, of course, you will also increase your competitive advantage. And in the end, increase your revenue. So these are all quite good reasons, because I mean, what is the alternative to not having a BI tool? It is Excel help. And me as a project manager at Lime, I'm working with all sorts of organizations, small, big, medium, in different industries, wholesale, membership, real estate. And what I still see today is often information overload. So it's still quite common that the customer data is in different environments, and it creates island of information. So clear pain there is that we spend a lot of time to try to summarize the data and present it during a department meeting or board meetings. And once you have gathered the data and presented it in a nice way, then yeah, you have to start all over again for the next month. So because it gets outdated. So with adding a BI platform, visualizing data from different systems, then the time spent searching for data will reduce enormously. And I mean, it's not like Excel is bad. Like it's still good for the basic things, and it's working for some things. It's not like I don't like it. And I mean, you still can make some basic visualizations with Excel. That's true. If you know your way around. But it's more like then you have it there, and for next time you need to download it again and so on. So wouldn't it be cooler if all my customer data is already gathered and presented maybe like this, like a BI tool where you can see different dashboards for everything we need. For example, the sales forecast, so like pipeline management, how many quotations we have right now, and yeah, is the pipeline actually aligned with our goal, our yearly or monthly, quarterly goal? And do we have actually enough activities, sales calls, customer meetings, web demos? And we can also take a look at our hit rates, for example. Yeah, but yeah, as I also mentioned before, it's not all for sales. So it could also, for example, look like this. This is an example for a help desk dashboard. So you could look at how many active tickets do we have, how many are delayed, and yeah, or just opened. We can also take a look at the source of the tickets. Is it coming from email, phone, web page, or chat? And of course, like we could also take a look at the processing time. How long do we need to process a ticket? I'm thinking now I showed you a little bit, a few slides, but are you also ready to see some Lime BI? So now I'm jumping into BI here. This is our very own Lime BI tool, and there I can just create a new question up here, ask a question, and then I can say simple question. I want to show you, let's say we want to look at our biggest customers. So then I would look into the invoices and say I want to look at which are the customers who we earned most at. So I will summarize by the sum of the amount of the invoice. Then I get a very big number already, but I want to see it per company, per customer. So it's down here. This looks good. Maybe yeah, it's just a table here, but I can choose a visualization, of course. Let's say a row. Yeah. But I want to see also the biggest, so I can of course sort it as well. If I go back here, I can sorted here by decreasing. And yeah, these are a lot. What if I only want to see the top 30? Then I can go to the editor and just say row limit 30 and go back to visualize. Now maybe I didn't see a big difference here, but but then I also can see like on the very top it says empty. This is what I mentioned before, like about the data quality. So there are some invoices which have no company attached, but for now I can just filter that out to get a more focused look. So I can go to filter, company is not empty, and add filter. So that looks good. Yeah, that's interesting, and I like it. But what if I'm also curious about in which countries they are? Because I mean, I have the addresses of my customers, of course. So I could also summarize by company and the country here. Let's see. And then it says like, yeah, the row chart is not supported, but luckily we have also a lot of other visualizations. Let's try the bar chart, for example. And let's see here. I can see something here already. So down here I have the companies now, and the different colors are different countries. Okay, interesting. But maybe that's not totally like giving me the overview over the countries. So what I can do here is I can turn it around. I can do like this. So now I have down here the countries, and the different colors mean that they are different companies. But then again, you can see like here it's Sweden and Sverige. That's also Sweden in Swedish. So it's again a little bit the data quality. So you know, I can go back into my data and maybe change the one Sweden into Sverige as well. But here I get an overview. Okay, clearly like my Danish customers are my main focus. But then there's a lot of potential like in the other countries. And also right now I'm only looking at my 30 top companies. So that was quite easy, like just a few clicks. Now I also wanted to show you another example with more looking at the pipeline. Or actually, let's look at the order intake first. So the order intake of the last 12 months. There I will also go to simple question again. And this time I will look at the deals. So I said the last 12 months. So then I will go into the filter first. And yeah, so when I say order intake as well, I mean like, of course, deals which are won, so are already closed in agreement. So I filter that first. Elsewise, in the last 12 months, then I will go to the order loss date and say previous 12 months. Add this filter. And when I add a filter, they are coming up here. And I can also easily change it again. So that's quite nice. And then, of course, like in general, like when I don't summarize it, I'm just filtering. So that's just my data in a long sheet here. But then I can also say go to order loss date here and say show me the distribution. And I have a graph already. So now it's showing me the order loss date down here and how many deals got closed. So in November I had 15, and actually I had a good month in summer. So this is like how many deals we had. Okay, this is interesting, but what about what about money? Like how much did we earn on these deals? So let's add that as well. So I go back to summarize, and it says also right now summarize by count, and I can just add a metric and say I'm also interested in the value. So right now I have 2 lines, but I don't like that quite much, so I'll change it. So here I can just go, for example, the count. I rather want to see it as a bar like this. And actually, I also want to add the numbers. Then it's a little bit easier for me to see. So here, now this is actually quite interesting. In July, for example, as I said, like it looks like we had a lot of deals, 66, but the order intake was not that much. So we had like a lot of smaller deals, so 66, but only this much value. Yeah, so that was quite interesting to see. I would not have known that if I would not have combined these two. So now we've looked into the past, but what about the future? So I'm thinking I can also show you how to build a visualization to get the expected pipeline. I will start again with ask a question, simple question, and it's actually the same. We will still look at the deals. But this time we're not looking at one deals, but we are looking at which is deals which are not closed yet. So for example, customer contact, qualification, and quote. So I filter on that. And elsewise, I can just summarize already here. And I would like to see how much they bring in. So I will sum again with the value. But now I want to see how the distribution is in the future. So then I say expected order by month here. So then I can see like how much they bring in like for the next time. And now I forgot also to maybe filter on the next 12 months. We can still add that if we want to be more precise. Yeah. Let's expect order. So then we can just say next 12 months. Then we dig a little bit deeper in and not in total our pipeline. So yeah, that's also interesting. But now I don't really know like how close are we with those deals. So I can also summarize and group by the status. I will add it here. And also here, I think it's a bit clearer with the bar chart. So down here we can see the expected order, where my employees think they will close it, and then the different colors indicate in which status the deal is. And I also like to stack it. Then I can actually see the total amount. Yeah, so this looks good. Of course, we're in December now, so in January, I hope a lot of things are closing. Yeah, and of course I can save it. I will just save it here. And then Line BI is also asking already if I want to save it to a dashboard, and I do. So I can just add it to my dashboard here. Then it just comes up down here, and I can just drag and drop wherever I want to have it. It's quite easy to design it, and I can save it here. At last, I want to show you a short example also. If you have Lime CRM already, then you can also have it in your Lime CRM and embed the dashboard, of course. So for example, your start page could look like this with a sales dashboard here. Elsewise, we can also switch for the help desk or support customer service colleagues. They can have their own dashboard here. No. All right. But yeah, that was already it with my little Lime BI demo. So to sum it up, you can create simple visualizations with BI, and from real-time data. I think that's quite important. And it can save you a lot of time and administration time. Yeah. And I think also it can really spark your motivation as well. Like it's much more focused and clear, like what is our aim. And it's easier to understand the data by visuals. Yeah. So I would say, yeah, choose a platform that is easy to use, of course. And yeah, remember as well, like it's not only a sales tool, and try to see it from different perspectives. So, are there any questions or feedback? I think there's one, and yeah, I just showed it for Lime in the web client. And a question is, could we use Lime BI also in the desktop version of Lime? Yes, that is also possible. So, exactly. But elsewise, if you have any questions, of course, don't hesitate to contact us or your contact person. And then I would just say thank you for joining me today. And I hope you learned something. And the recording will be sent to you soon. Otherwise, have a nice day.